result. Um,
Now, on Foundations of a Free Society, there's a lot of essays in between the libertarian theory and the objectivist theory, and you have a foot in both worlds, right? You know a lot about both worlds. One of the criticisms that I've heard about objectivists to the libertarian movement is that they lack philosophy. But sometimes when I've read Mises or Hayek, or even inspirations of them, of Frédéric Bastiat, for instance, I do find some sense of philosophical explanations towards why human action and economy let free has some moral backgrounds. Do you think it's fair, the critique that some objectivists make, that the problem with libertarians is that they only stick to economics and politics, but they don't go deeper into philosophical explanations?
I guess it depends how you look at that. So in one sense, if it's about defending capitalism, so I think Ayn Rand would definitely say almost all defenders of capitalism don't go down to the philosophical level. So they try to defend capitalism in economic terms, and she thinks that's a losing game. Like, you'll just never win if you do that, because you will be, in effect, accepting the premises of your opponents, and then because you've accepted those implicitly, eventually they're going to win. So an example of that would be anybody who defends the free markets on the grounds that it produces some aggregate outcome for society. So, a common one is that the free market provides the best allocation of resources. So that's an aggregate perspective. And Ayn Rand thinks, well, if you take that perspective, then you're taking a collectivist perspective, and you're saying, some particular aggregate outcome is what we're aiming at. But that feeds into what the central planners want to do, is they say, yeah, we're trying to achieve this aggregate outcome, and that's what justifies it, not the individual pursuing his own goals. So Ayn Rand would say, the only justification for capitalism is taking it down to man's nature as a rational being, as a creative being, as a goal-seeking being. And that's what's, that's how you have to defend capitalism, is that you have the right to do that, and you should have the right to do that, not because it causes some aggregate outcome. So in another sense, von Mises did have a philosophy. He did try to ground his economics in certain philosophic principles. So from that point of view, Ayn Rand thought he was just wrong, that his philosophy was wrong.
Did he have a name for that philosophy?